How we looking? All right. So we are on from the 718 where everything is great.
Yep.
We are on like popcorn. All right. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I put the link into the chat to see if women want to come in and tell their horror stories about men. Also, if not, me and my man Obsession will be talking about a few trending topics. One thing I want to talk about is that LeBron Sun situation. Like, why was it such a big deal? I don't know if you up on that with his prom day.
Hey man, I'm up for whatever.
All right. That one I want to talk about because it was just like, maybe because in New York City is such a melting pot, and then, you know, bigger cities like Los Angeles and certain things, like you're used to seeing biracial dating. I don't like. Really,
they live in California, right?
They live in Brentwood, California. So you know, in his neighborhood is all.
From what I understand, black women on a whole say it's hard to date in California.
Yes, demographically, yes.
Yeah, and the brothers are checking for a lot of the snowbuddies over there.
Listen,
I mean, according to the sisters, this is what I hear. So
you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely on point with that.
You know, and you know, I don't know if you listen to BGS Ibmore's channel. Well, I check his channel out from time to time.
Okay.
Excuse me. Seltzer water's killing me. Anyway, he always referenced his son.
Okay.
No, actually, he said his grandson. I believe he said his grandson.
Okay.
I think his grandson's about 13 or 14.
Right.
And said his grandson said that he likes Spanish girls because they're nicer. He said black girls are mean. So I don't know. And you know, truth be told, I've heard that a lot.
I've heard that too.
I've heard that a lot. I've experienced my fair share
of mean black women.
Yes, I have. You know, I mean, nuclear rejection was definitely a thing once upon a time.
When you say nuclear rejection, you mean
like you can't, you walk over to her and you be like, hey, how you doing? What's your name or whatever? You try to talk to her. She be like, I know you ain't trying to talk to me. Right. Hell, you see, he just tried to talk. Oh my God! You like, okay, you could have just said no. You didn't have to embarrass me.
Facts.
But, you know,
you're absolutely correct about that. How can I say this? I'm gonna tell you. I told you this when we did the very first one, right? When we did the very first one, I told you this. On the East Coast, black women, you gotta literally, like, in my experiences when I was younger, you know, I'm retired now, but in the East Coast, you would have to like walk barefoot through the project courtyard on glass and syringes to like keep them in a good space.
Yeah.
On the West Coast, where there's like an abundance of women and all of them are beautiful, it's like, as long as you're not bisexual, homosexual, or some type of just all out loser, you gotta, you're gonna get a woman.
I can attest to that. I've traveled a lot, and I've had plenty of women approach me, especially places like Atlanta, overseas. Okay,
talked about that already.
Yeah, I told you about some of my experiences in Ireland. It was like,
no, you didn't.
Oh, I thought we discussed that, man. Like, I mean, forget about it, bro. I mean, just beyond nice.
Okay.
Just so welcoming. And it was kind of off-putting at first, like, because I'm used to, you know, a little aggressive. I'm trying to be nice. You
try.
You know, I don't know. I'm in a good mood today. I'm used to a little aggressiveness, and you know, it's different. You know, it was really cooperating. I spent some time in Orlando and in Tampa and
Tampa, bro.
Fort Lauderdale,
bro.
And they were so sweet.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that's indicative of all of them.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying that it was a much different experience from like living in New York City and growing up here and dealing with the women here. It was different. It was different. And these are black women I'm talking about, with the exception of Ireland. Those were white women. But no, I'm just being honest.
I'm just thinking about that. Though.
Well, it was one black woman over there who was
about Ireland,
and she was actually from Africa. She was a beautiful person. I can't even remember her name, but she was just an amazing person. She was super sweet. I think she was from Ethiopia. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I know definitely African chick over there. I think, but most of them were really nice. But I am talking about black women when I'm talking about Atlanta and Florida,
Atlanta,
and stuff like that. You know, they were just super nice, man.
But so you're talking about black women outside of Ireland. You're talking about black women in Atlanta, in Orlando, in Tampa.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
What did you think was the main difference? You think they were just more inviting?
They were just way more hospitable.
Okay.
Like by far. You know, and they didn't have that chip on their shoulder, you know.
Hold on, not to cut you off. How long ago in Atlanta? Because I think Atlanta has changed a lot when it came to that.
I was just in Atlanta a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And the women were still really nice.
Okay.
I mean, outside of this one lawyer chick who.
Yeah, you told me the whole five.
Yeah, she was a whole five with the attitude of a 25. She was not. Mama, if you ever see this, you know what? Let me leave it alone.
Yeah, leave that alone. Come on, man. Come on.
Just because you can buy nice things don't mean you a nice person. I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that.
Oh, come on, man.
I will leave it at that.
But because this is my thing, and I'm gonna be honest, Atlanta, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
The black women were more inviting, more hospitable. They weren't mean, right? In my heyday, before I retired and hung up my cape, Atlanta was definitely a place that I laid a flag in. But in the West Coast, I can't say there's a lot of nice black women for me. You know, I met a few. I met a couple. I know a couple. Some that I'm friends with to this day. But if I had to tell you if I had to give you like a gradient or a pie graph, it would be it's even between the Caucasian and the Latinos over there for black men, right? Very friendly, very becoming. Yeah, it's very. And then I would say, like, when you get to, there's a lot of Persians over there. There's a lot of Eastern Europeans over there. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, Asian. And when I say Asian, I'm talking about the spectrum: Korean, Filipino, Japanese, and Chinese. If you wanted to, you have a nice. If you was like at that time, like if you're like a young man and you just out there playing, yeah, LA, yeah. And that brings me to the point though. Could have Bronny James taken out a beautiful black woman? Yes. But living in Brentwood, California, proximity. And what is it called? Assortative mating.
Yes.
Assortative mating. Yo, this man lives in Brentwood and he's around well-to-do, wealthy, let's not say rich, but wealthy white folks. Of course, and then, of course he's going to dip his toe in the pool.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's kind of par for the course. What else is going on that I wanted to speak on? I don't know how I'm going to approach this, but Kevin Samuel's funeral passed, right? and you've had literal women partying and going in on the fact that they say he had a low budget funeral for a so-called high value man.
I mean, do you expect them to have anything good to say? I mean, come on. Like, I think you're doing it to yourself at this point. Are you really expecting them to have anything good to say? You can't, man. You just can't. Listen, you got to just ignore it.
I don't listen.
They still fat and they still average.
Jesus Christ.
Their circumstances haven't changed one bit. These same ones who are online howling now over the death of this man, they just show how low value they are. That you can actually celebrate someone's death because you simply didn't agree with what they were saying. You know, the truth of the matter is he made sense. That's why so many people gravitated towards him.
Yeah,
it's just the fact of the matter. Like,
that's a fact.
You can't tell me that millions of people just secretly hate women. That's not it. And that's an easy scapegoat that they kind of rely on. They just keep falling back to that point. Oh, he was misogynistic. You know, misogynistic, it's become such an umbrella term at this point. It's so vague. Like anything just goes under that. You know, so just disagreeing. You don't have to disrespect. Just disagreeing is misogyny. Like, you just have to agree. If I give you any kind of, I don't even want to say correction, but any kind of critique, you and your feelings, and all of a sudden I'm misogynistic. So that's what they were using with Kevin Samuels, and you know, it's a weapon. That word misogyny, it's a weapon. It's become a weapon. It is a weapon to shut down conversations and debate. Like, it is a weapon for us to just simply have a conversation about something. It's like, oh, this is misogynistic, so we need to change the subject. In other words, and that's weak. You know, just debate the points. If you have a better argument, bring it forth and let the masses decide. Don't just tell me that I'm misogynistic for the sake of us not really talking about whatever issue it is we're trying to discuss. Like, that's crazy.
I agree. I agree.
So, and them howling at his funeral, you know, what do you expect?
What do you expect?
What do you expect?
Let me ask you a question. Speaking on that, right? Because, you know, okay, so forget Kevin, you know, back to this whole Bronny James thing, right?
Uh-huh.
I see women do that. Why do women, right? And I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna let it hang for about 15 minutes. You know, usually I wear this filter. But why do women celebrate Meghan Markle marrying a white guy? Oh, remember they had party. Oh, he's the prince.
It was this one woman who says, I'm going to dissect, and inhale any bit of literature or information I can get about Meghan Markle's up and coming nuptials. I was like, damn, calm down.
Like, you're celebrating her marrying into the British crown that put your family in chains.
Yo, it's hypocritical,
but
bro.
It's so the hypocrisy is crazy. But if LeBron James' son,
you know what else? With that same thing, remember Kendrick Lamar video where he said he wanted a girl without all the extra. I can't remember.
Doom. Be humble. I don't need you with the end.
Right, and the girl in the video, it was like he could have got a dark skinned girl. That girl is too light. She can't be up there representing black women. That they went in on him because of that girl in the video. So the girl in Kendrick Lamar video is clearly a black woman.
Yeah.
But she's not black enough.
Right.
But we're supposed to celebrate Meghan Markle, who could almost pass for white. Make it make sense.
Make it sense, bro.
The hypocrisy.
Yo, it's like it's almost like, it's like you say, the game is rigged, right? Yes. It's like, because it's like, I really want to ask this question. If we had a panel, and I wish we had a panel today, because I want to ask, like, can you be pro-black and date out your race? To women, not to men. Because it's like, if a man is heterosexual and he just wants a lady by his side, right? Like, why can't he just date who he want? Now, I'm not saying, like, okay, for example, I think I told you this. I think I said this on the first episode. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I. But I remember flying to Toronto with Lawrence Fishburne in the front row, and I was telling him like, I don't mind Jordan Peele being married to a white woman. That's his decision. Love who you love, like who you like, marry who you marry. I didn't think that it gave him the poetic justice to write Get Out though, when you're literally living that life. Like, I just didn't understand that. I'm not saying he can't be pro-black or not, but you know, I just, that's the question.
Caller, you are live.
Oh, go ahead. We got a caller.
Hello. I turned the Bluetooth off. My bad. Hold on. I gotta fix this real quick. Let me sort this out. This is my fault.
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, caller. Let me get this thing done. Yeah, but you can finish.
Yeah, I just want to, like, is that because me, like I said, I used to be very in this space of like, oh, I can't date this woman. I can't date that woman because I'm very pro this. I'm very pro that. But is your woman pro you? Like, that's the question. Like, is your woman pro you? If she's pro you, then date who you want.
All right. I think we live now.
All right, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, we are
Yes,
definitely.
I'm here. Can you?
I get her.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Are you guys? I'm good. How are you guys doing today?
I'm
Doing
fine.
great, doing great.
So, are you guys asking women like what's wrong with all men, or are we talking about black men in particular? What are we talking about?
I mean, give us your personal experience, like anything you want to talk about, whatever it is you feel is wrong with men. It don't matter if they black, white, polka dot, purple, blue, whatever.
And, I mean, obviously, it's whoever's you dating, right? It's like your dating preference, so you should go off that.
Okay, well, I'm happy you said that because I can't speak about all men because I haven't dated all men.
Mm-hmm.
Don't intend to.
Mm-hmm.
But as for black men, what I think is wrong with them is that you guys waited too long to stick up for yourselves.
Oh.
And what I mean by that, yeah, that's what I feel like is wrong with you guys. I feel like you guys let black women despise you for so many years. And now you guys are trying to change that and trying to value yourself and have, your counterparts value you when all of this negative things about black men have been embedded in their minds since birth. And now it's like kind of hard to reverse. So I feel like you guys needed a strong leader before Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. You guys needed a strong leader before him, but you guys didn't have that. Nobody was really making any noise and nobody was really listening to you guys. And now people are trying to listen, but you guys are getting pushback because it's a little too late. So I feel like that is what's wrong with black men. You guys should have stuck up for yourself a long, long time ago.
Well, I just want to make one minor correction. I don't think we view Kevin Samuels as our leader. I think he was just a spokesperson of the moment.
Definitely.
Well, he was your voice.
There you go. He was the voice of many. Right? I just a little tiny pushback to that leader word.
That's fine.
That's about
no
it.
problem.
But I think I agree with everything you said. Otherwise, we had Shahrazad try it way back in the 90s, and they was on that woman neck. What Tasha K said? She was like, "I'm about to get on a nigga head." She was they was on Tasha K with. It was on a nigga head with Shahrazad. They ran her out of town. So, it's almost like equality for men seems like prison for women. Like you just killing us with this. You want us to apologize sometime. What you mean accountability? That's just too much to ask for. How dare you? Like, only reason I did what I did is because you did something and I was just reacting. It ain't have nothing to do with. Other than that, I just go off of your. And it's always
always us. It's always us, and that's what I want to say too to all of the both sides. I'll wait till later for that. But quick question to you. So you said it, we waited too late to stand up for ourselves, right? So you now do you admit that it's too late, period? Meaning like the snowball effect has come and that y'all here now, right? Y'all are the immovable object. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I feel like you guys still have a chance with some, just not the majority, because of the way the culture is now. You know, ratchet culture is on top and stuff like that, and this independent woman thing is on top. And for you guys, like that's the vibe right now. Not for all of us, but for the majority of us. So it's going to be super hard for you guys to find a woman who's going to be on the same page. So it pretty much is too late. I mean, you're going to have some good apples out there, but a lot of rotten ones around. So you guys going to just have to figure out how to navigate through that, or like Kevin Samuels would say, sell out.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you seen, okay, I keep seeing this. I just want to make sure I'm not the only one seeing this.
Okay.
A woman makes a post online saying, hey, today I'm going to do XYZ for my man. I love him. I submit to him. He's great. He's a good provider. He does everything he's supposed to do. I love my man and I celebrate him. And I see other women go after that woman. They try and chastise that woman. That woman. They shame her. Have you seen that?
I have. They act like she's a slave. Like, why you gotta do all that?
Why do you think? Why do you think they call them pick-me's? Yeah, right? Pick-me's. Like, why do you think they do that? In your opinion?
Oh, that term is used so loosely. I hate it. But because of how they were raised and because they hate men and how they view men, they don't think black men in particular are good enough to receive good treatment.
So it's misandry.
Fine,
so it's misandry.
Yeah. There you go.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Have you had?
Not saying that those are my views, but
okay. Now listen. You are a young woman. You out here in the world. I mean, I didn't ask your age, but just by the sound of your voice, I know you've had.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay,
so I'm 26.
Okay, so you've had some good experiences and some bad experiences with men, I'm sure.
Yes, I have.
None of them were enough to make you feel like, you didn't want to be bothered anymore?
Not be bothered with men in particular or black men?
I'm not saying like go lesbo. It didn't put you on the fuck them niggas train.
No, it just made me like reevaluate myself and be like, okay, well, what am I doing for me to attract certain people? Or I would just have to accept that that's how certain people are, and I got stuck with a bad one real quick and then let them go, and then just be single, spend time with myself, and just learn to not settle.
Have you
but
ever?
It never made me feel like go ahead.
No, it never made you feel like
F them. I never made me feel like that. Sorry, don't know if I could use profanity, but
have you ever apologized to a man?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It doesn't matter if it's a man. Well, I apologize to kids because I know what it was like as a child, and your parent is wrong, but they stand on it because they're the parent. So even with children, it doesn't matter. I always say I respect anybody. It doesn't matter if you're 2, 22, 62. It doesn't matter. Respect goes a long way. It doesn't matter who it is.
I see.
So yes.
She has apologized, fellas. There's a 25-year-old apologizing woman on the phone line right now.
That's a woman of God.
She's about to be 26, fellas. And she apologized.
Woo.
She says, I'm sorry.
And then you move on, because then why would you want to prolong it? Some people like arguments. Some people like drama and toxicity. I'm not here for it. It's if I sincerely apologize, and I only apologize if I mean it. So some of us are stubborn, but if I'm not sorry, I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
Okay, so I don't.
But if I say,
I'm sorry, I'm just hijacking this interview here. I gotta ask though. I mean,
okay.
I know you can't really speak for other women, but do you know why it is so hard for women to apologize?
Yeah, why is that?
Why is that?
Because no one likes to admit when they're wrong.
No.
And then
Women
maybe,
especially.
all right, maybe if a woman,
Yes.
maybe if a woman apologizes, it'll make, or they have this mindset that it'll make the man feel like they're better than men, or that they're in the right. I don't know.
I mean, if you're right, you're right. It has nothing to do with being better. It's just right or wrong.
Well, you heard the saying "wrong and strong." Some people like to be wrong and strong. Some people
a lot of your species likes to be wrong and strong.
Your species. Oh snap!
Oh my God, this is so entertaining.
I mean, so how can I say this? At your age, right? Because you're in the middle, you're dead smack in the age of hyper individualism and what these women have morphed into, right? Mm-hmm. How do you stand? Because like I know a lot of your if you have peers like that, right? I know a lot of your peers might look at you different, right? Because you're saying men should have stood up for themselves, right? And I don't hear women saying nothing like that.
No, that's actually the first time I've heard
that. Is like, you deserve a cash. Like, that is just crazy to hear. Because like, you rarely hear, yes, give that woman a round of applause, please. Because you rarely hear that. Like, in our position right now, I always say this, in especially black men, between your age up until about 50 years old, we do not experience a part of, nor do we enjoy the patriarchal system that America is. We the only ones outside looking in the window like,
well, sure wish I could get a piece of that patriarchy.
Them guys in there party.
Wish I can get some of that patriarchy there.
Yeah. Oh, she cooking for him and they cooking
Lord,
for them. Lord, my Lord. Like, it's just crazy.
Is that Christina?
I'm sure women have cooked for you guys. Let's not brag it. I'm sure women have cooked for you guys.
Okay. Say that again real quick. You said you sure what?
I said I'm sure women have cooked for you guys.
I mean, of course, women have cooked for us. But I'm just saying it's not a thing anymore,
Yeah, just because a woman opens up a can of ravioli doesn't make it Olive Garden. But what I'm saying is,
not ravioli.
What I'm saying is that, we do not enjoy that, right? We do not enjoy the commonality or the normalcy of the patriarchal home, the patriarchal structure.
No, we don't benefit.
And what I mean by that is like, when you can't go out, and I'm not saying let us waddle in squalor and just live with our heads between the tails, but when we don't have agency and legacy and certain nepotisms to go out and achieve just normal income, it's hard to come home and split a can of sardines and expect your wife to listen to you.
Yeah, and if she's paying half the bills, it really ain't gonna be no super cooperation going on up in there, bro.
Yeah,
it's just not.
But what's wrong with that though? The economy is not in a state one person can work and provide for the whole household.
Well, I agree. I agree with that, but that I don't think that's really taken into consideration. I don't really think they give it that.
If she put it in as much as you, she's not gonna treat you a certain way, and she's not gonna look at you a certain way. It depends on the type of woman she is, but yeah, she's gonna say, "Well, I pay this too. You're not doing it. You don't do this for me. You don't do that for me. F you. Like, I don't have to respect you." I mean, we've seen it.
Oh, of course.
I had a woman tell me this morning, who I wanted to be on the show, right? I had a woman tell me this morning that she said she don't mind listening, she don't mind submitting, as long as the man pays all the bills. And you know what I thought about when she said that? I said, basically, y'all just go to the highest bidder. If you think about that, if everything is just predicated on the resources and the sustainability of me thereof and being able to pay for everything, then you just go to the highest bidder, right?
Okay, so I get what you're saying. You low key called her a prostitute, though.
No,
I get what you're saying.
I didn't
But
say
at
her.
the same
I thought that's where you were going. Yeah.
Yo,
you
man.
said Shorty goes to the highest bidder. You low key call her a prostitute. Like, let's keep it a fact.
And
also,
she agreed, though.
You cannot. You guys have. Thank you, because she knows what's up. But you guys cannot. You guys have to. All right. You guys have to be clear about what y'all want. Do you want a traditional woman? Do you want a traditional woman with a pinch of modern tendencies? Do you want what do you want? In the traditional aspect, how was it? Man works, woman stays home, is a housewife, has the kids, does all that, tends to the home, right? Now we're in a society where we can't do that anymore. You need two people to work. So you're going to have to adjust a little bit. And I wouldn't say I wouldn't submit completely because he's not paying on the lot. We have to be specific about what we mean when we say submit to. Because when I tell people, I feel like I don't mind being traditional, but I'm 25. I am gonna have some modern tendencies. I'm not a hood rat. I'm not a part of that culture, but I am 25 years old. I'm young. I'm not going to be like blue steel ball. Like, that's just not how it's gonna be.
It's the definition of submit.
You say right. Like, what does submit mean to you? You have to get into that.
I just submit to me.
And get mad when
submit to me means something different than to this young lady or to Obsession or to you, Dre. Like it means something different. Everyone has to figure out from the jump what is everyone coming in with, what's your expectation and what's your definition. Because traditional to me might mean something different than traditional to you.
Well, I don't think any man, there's not too many men that's working a 9-to-5 or working a medial job or even some corporate jobs that can afford to just dish out the tab on everything. And if he is, I mean, he's probably going to have more than one woman.
Not necessarily.
Well, if every man was to marry every woman right now in the United States, how many women is left over, Obsession?
I'm sorry, brother. Say that again.
If every man was to marry every single woman in the United States right now, how many women are left over?
I think they outnumber us by a couple of million, right?
At least, if every black man was to marry every black woman right now, there's almost another 4 million women left. So what is to be said for them?
It's survival of the fittest.
There you go. That's why. See, this is why I'm trying. No, it does. It does because then it becomes It does because then you're talking about minimalism, survivalism, and it becomes the Hunger Games. That's why I wasn't calling her a prostitute, but when you're looking at the basic needs of life, clothes, food, and shelter. When the older you get, the more important that becomes, right? And then it's like, well, as you see with most women, when we're not talking about you. You're in your own special box. You're your own individual. But Obsession have seen it. I have seen it. When you're the good guy in the 20s, right? And you're chasing after the pretty girl, she's living out of her youth. She's living her prettiness, right? She's going to go for the bad guy. She's going to go for the thrill seeker. But then you get 42 years old. Then it's, hey, big head, remember me? Why?
And I got the DMs to prove it.
Because it's clothes, food, and shelter, right? It's literally, now it's survival time. Now it's settle down time, right? Before I was out playing, I was living. I was youthful, right? And that's why I say they go to the highest bidder. Like, who's going to provide this lifestyle now?
But is it more than that, though?
What do you mean?
Is it... it sounds like it's coming from a place of, like you said, it's survival of the fittest, like
100%.
Food, clothing, shelter. I get that, but is it more than just the individual with that? It's societal. It's a place of lack, and people come in already on the defense. Like, what are you going to do for me? I'm doing this for you. Instead of this is a partnership. And it waxes and it wanes. You know what I'm saying? It goes back and forth. And it's like when, submitting. You may submit a little bit, I may submit a little bit. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's, is it always going to be an equal partnership? No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, because some people don't have that, and some people don't have that personality. You know what I'm saying? Like I know very, very like easy, you know, maybe too easy, like men, and the woman is the stronger personality because that's just her personality, or vice versa. But that can go to an extreme. You know, she could be very...
why would I want, but like you don't want a man does not want a masculine. Well,
I'm not saying masculine
you cannot
looking.
say that. You cannot say that.
I can't
beta
say
men,
that.
Yes,
No.
yes. Beta men.
Well, beta men. We're
beta
not.
Men,
I don't. You know, beta men is.
Beta men like masculine women. Like not every man is an alpha, and that's another thing too. You can't just say, "Oh, a woman is supposed to submit to a man." What kind of man? Because if he does not know how to lead, if he is not a born leader, I'm not following you. If you don't know where you're going,
and there's
then
let me say the disclaimer.
And there's a lot of importance in the pack. The
What
pack
do you mean
can't
by that?
run. The pack can't run unless there is a good alpha. Okay, so there are people.
Exactly.
And the pack survives for the sake of the pack. As a woman, if you had to put me in a group with other women, personally, you would not say Christine is the alpha. You would not. You would not say that unless something goes awry with the alphas, and then it's going to be a problem, because then I'm going to make sure there's some kind of an alpha. So you'll see more of that alpha later, but I don't come in like an alpha. But that doesn't mean I can't hold down whatever. So there's the pack is as important, and the followers are as important as the alpha. Without the pack, who is the alpha? There's nobody.
Okay, so yeah, before we go any further on my end, disclaimer, yeah, we're not. See, betas and thirsty dudes, we don't really adhere to on not on this topic, right? We're just talking about the average alpha working male, right? I'm being honest, like if we took a sample size of maybe 200 women to like, so you say 200, so let's say we take 40 alpha, middle earning, middle wage, and got their stuff together, black men.
And alpha is defined as what?
Like leaders of their home, men who can stand on their own backbone, delegate, allocate, can give you the, can lead his family.
Do you think though? Yeah. Do you think though every man who says I'm an alpha, do you think if you put 10 guys in the room, they would all have a different definition of what the alpha means, or at least some?
No, not really. No, not really. It's going to be variance. Okay. It's going to be variance, but it won't be. There is. It won't be different. Yeah, that's the spaghetti versus waffle thinking. But
that's what I
there would be variance of that. But if that's where the variance comes, is culture. A guy from the Middle East is definitely more stern than an alpha from the Western world.
100%, like the Israelis or Moroccans.
That is a variant, but they still going to consider themselves. The base of it is going to be, I make the decisions, I make the rules, I will consult with you, but the final word begins and ends with me.
All right? The time?
Yeah. If we're gonna be honest, like I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Like, is that what you aspire for? That's
a good question, because that's a lot of pressure all the time.
That's very objective and subjective at the same time. But if you're talking about me, you didn't see it. Yeah, for me, I'm a feminist, right? Since I know the country I live in, I know that outside of yourself, beautiful young lady, that I know that women is on some, you ain't gonna tell me nothing, right? So it's like, all right, well, cool. Then if we gonna have it your way, then I'm rewriting the feminist song right now. Oh, no. I'm 4 bars in. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting them know, yes, you can pay all my bills. And yes, you can buy all my meals, cause you're a woman. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. Personally,
no one's pulling up for that though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing with that.
I'm personally, I'm not pulling up for that.
No. Of course you're not.
Of course.
Yeah, no way.
No way.
But yeah, of course you're not. But
one of the things that I don't like is when we get into these conversations and we talk about what's traditional and alpha and this, that, and that is that we don't live in the 50s or the 60s. It's modern times and things are different. Right. I think the problem comes in. I think it gets hairy when people expect traditional roles to be played by modern people.
I agree.
I think there's some things that we can expect. There's some, I think there's certain, I hate to use the word, but I'm gonna use it anyway, gender roles, because if there's an intruder, you expect me to handle that. So I don't think it's a big deal if I expect you to handle the laundry or maybe some cooking or something like that, because we have roles. It's not that you're just suited for cooking. I don't look at you that way, but I would like some of the pressure taken off of me from certain things, and I can cook for you sometime. It's not that you have to always cook for me. I don't mind making you a plate. If I'm in the kitchen, I'll cook. It's no big deal. But I think the thing is, like, especially when you have non-traditional women, I'm speaking for men now. When you have non-traditional women making traditional demands when they don't have a traditional bone in their body, like that's hypocrisy. Like, what are we really talking about here? Like, you're not like that, but you expect that of me, and you're not going to give me any of that. If I request it from you, the first thing you'll say is, this isn't the 1950s, and why are you expecting me to do this? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
but in that same breath, if I say, well, hey, let's split this and this, that, and that, you'd be like, be a man. The man is supposed to take care of that. So you can't have it both ways.
We're basing it off of very obsolete and archaic rules.
I agree.
Like Obsession said. So then maybe things have to be reworked instead of going back and forth on because there's always going to be conflict in every relationship, but it's like, what are you going to do with that? So the definition is, we need to have an operationalized definition of traditional or what people want, meaning you can, if we define what it is, everyone will be able to think of the same thing. Because if I say, like, for a child I'm observing in school, let's say I'm a school psychologist. So for a child, I can say they're defiant or disruptive. Defiant could be they didn't want to take out their book, or they can tell the teacher to go F off. There's a big space in between that. So I have to define, what does defiant mean in this observation? What does disrespectful mean? What does traditional mean? What do gender roles mean? And then you look at everybody's expectation. But this takes a lot of conversation, and people are raised based on ideals, and they may not even necessarily agree with them anymore, but they just feel everything has to be that way.
I agree with
that because I was raised a certain way, and I was raised period to be like basically, like, I mean, I've heard disgusting things about the opposite sex my whole life, and I didn't really have any male figures in my life to kind of dispel the things that I heard, but that didn't affect me in the way where it's like I internalized that and then I took it out on men. So I feel like it's also about the person, and it's about who they are, and the things that they go through. Because
so did you have any other experiences that would tell you otherwise, though, even though you didn't have the male role models that showed you otherwise?
That showed me that they're good.
Right, like you didn't have that, but yet you're not taking it out on men. So what else did you see that was different, or how did you decide for yourself?
I think some of the people that I've encountered in my life have showed me that, because you see things on TV, but it's TV, people are acting, they're reading from the script, right? But when you come across men who genuinely care about you and aren't trying to get into your pants and stuff like that after experiencing that all the time, like, you start to look at people different. So, okay, so not everyone is like that. Not everyone just wants to sleep with me. Not everyone, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess that's what it was for me. It's not, I don't generalize. I don't do that because I know not everyone's the same, because I'm not the same. And I hate it when people generalize and scoop me up and put me in with all the other women in my generation. So I don't do that to them.
Well, you're 25. You said you're going to be 26 soon, right?
Yeah.
Well, do us a favor and don't change, all right? You stay just the way you are.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Please, and thank you. I thank you in advance. We need more people thinking like that. You can't base everything off of what happened 10, 20 years ago, or you had some bad experiences and now all of a sudden everybody's the same. It's not like that. It's not. I mean, if I based how I feel about women off of every experience I had dealing with women, I would never deal with women again.
Facts.
Because I have met some pieces of shit in my time. Okay?
Thank you, Jesus.
I mean, if I talk about it, God knows, I'll say this. I was dealing with this one woman. Mm-hmm. No, you know what? I'm gonna save that for my podcast. Let me shut up.
Yeah, say that.
I'm gonna save that. Let me save that because that one almost changed me. That one it had me on the cusp. I was like, fuck these bitches. Then I was like, no, relax. Like, I'm about to be a monk. No.
One thing about
we're so glad you didn't go over to that side.
I was ready to, get them dots on my head and shave a ball, get the dots and shit. Them robes on, walking around, worshiping a rock.
But was this when you was a good guy, or this when you?
No, man. This is
This was when you.
This is since I've known you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what?
That's crazy.
This is since I have known my brother Dre here.
That's crazy.
Had me right
how
there.
Long have you guys known? Let me.
I'm known Dre a few years now.
Yeah. That's crazy. I have. Listen, if we was to tell stories, man, I would be.
I mean, I had a crazy experience 2.5 months ago, but I'm not screaming F-men. I'm not doing that.
So tell us about your story.
Like I always say.
What happened a few months ago?
Not you trying to get tea.
What happened? You said you had an experience a few months ago. What happened?
The doors of the church are open.
Right. Okay.
Okay, you got to go. So boom. Now get away. I need to hear the so boom. I need to hear that. We go.
All right, so boom. I met this guy. On this app, and it was crazy because I've never really been an app type of person, and my friend is always saying like, you should download the app to find somebody. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So I downloaded this app, and it was called BLK, and I downloaded it, and I was on there, and I matched with this guy. He seemed pretty cool. We were talking. We talked on the phone. He seemed very open and honest about stuff, and we started to get to know each other. Then we went on a date. We would go on dates like every weekend. Like every Saturday, it just became a thing. Like, yeah, we were going out. So we were getting to know each other and stuff. I have a male best friend. I have two, actually. One is gay, one is straight. He was cool with the gay one. He was cool with me having a gay best friend, but was not cool with me having a straight guy best friend because his ex cheated on him, he said. I'm going to say allegedly because he was a pathological liar, but he said his ex cheated on him, got pregnant, said it was his baby. It wasn't his baby. She got an abortion and then lied and said she had a miscarriage, according to him. So according to him, that was why he was just like so iffy about me having a male best friend, because he said that it was a male best friend that got her pregnant. And I'm like, well, don't bring your past over here. Don't put that onto me, because if I'm telling you like this is someone who's not going anywhere, like you don't know the stuff we've been through, like this is my friend who's not going anywhere. And the fact that you even know about him, you should respect that. This is someone who's actually cheering for us and who wants me to be happy and who's happy that I'm dating and wants to meet you. But you're side-eyeing me. So one day, we were going to hang out, and my best friend called me and asked what I was doing. And I said, oh, I'm here with insert guy's name. And he went the fuck off. He was mad. He's like, who's that? Who's that? You here with who? And I'm like, is that not your name? Let's say his name was Kevin. So I was like, oh, nothing, I'm here with Kevin. He's like, who's that? Who's that? Kevin. I'm like, is that not your name? Who's that? So I told my friend I'd call him back, and he just went off because I said his name instead of saying, I'm here with my boo, I'm here with my bae. And I'm like, your name is Kevin. Like, that is what you would be called. Now, if something was going on, I could have been like, oh, nothing, I'm here with my friend. Oh, nothing, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or I probably wouldn't have answered the phone at all. But because of his insecurities and he's a freaking psychopath, he blew the hell up. And then later that day, he came to my residence and he basically kept me hostage in my room and stole my phone to search through my text message thread with my friend, which he found
Oh
nothing.
no!
And when
Oh
he found nothing, when he found nothing, it was call him. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call him, but I'm not. I just wanted to get my phone back, and then he started to get like a little abusive. Like he didn't hit me with his hand, but he was taking objects to like throw at me and hit me with and stuff. Like he was full-blown psycho. I had to call the cops, but I wasn't able to do that at first because he took my phone and he shattered it, and he also stole my Apple Watch. Yeah, it was a whole
my
thing.
goodness!
Yeah, so I had to. Good thing.
How long did you know him? How long did you know him before he did that?
This was 4 weeks. We were only going on dates. This was 4 weeks, and this man was a complete psycho.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
1 month. Literally, the day it happened made 4 weeks since we had been talking, and it was just like, it's not like it was years or months or anything. It's like we were only getting to know each other, only going on dates.
And that behavior will escalate 100%.
I mean, it already did escalate.
Yeah.
More than that.
It could have gotten worse, though. Yeah, it could have been worse.
Yes.
Wow.
But I'm not screaming fuck men, because I know like
not everybody does.
That's the kind of stuff you see on TV. You don't think that it's gonna happen to you, or you're gonna come across one of the crazies. But it happened to me. But I'm not screaming through all men, and I'm not doing that. I needed a minute for myself, still taking time for myself, but it's not discouraging me from finding a real one, though.
Mm-hmm. That's heavy. 4 weeks.
Yes.
That's odd, though. That's odd that something like that will happen to you, though. But like I say, guys are, some men are like that. Some men are like real insecure.
Keyword, some.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. No, I said keyword, some, not all.
Yeah, I mean, no, I call it down the middle. Some men are like that. Some men, I have a friend that wanted to come on the show. He just had my man who worked for Gucci, his girlfriend just assaulted him, and he did nothing wrong. Beat his black eye, everything.
Oh, speaking of assault. Speaking.
Yes,
I was just about to go there. So, what do you all think of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
I think that is just alarming.
Hold on, let's start with Christina.
Well,
Christina, what do you think?
I don't know if Christina's up on that.
Come on, Christina. I know you know. It's no way you don't know.
I really am embarrassed to say that I'm not so up on it. I'm very busy with work and my outreach, and then I had shingles for 2 weeks. Jesus. So I'm really not. I'm really not up on it. My friends are really up on it. I love Johnny Depp from 25 years ago.
From 21 Jump Street.
Oh my God. So I can't even hear anything, Nick, but from what I know, and I don't know much, from what I'm hearing from friends, and I could be, talking out of turn, but she did really crazy things to him, and I don't, but he has documented police reports, correct, of like injuries and all that, but she doesn't. But you would think that she would. But something interesting, unless they stayed together though with that crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's the dynamic, and I think he was raised in a very abusive home, or
he said his mother was that way.
Yeah, so you understand how it gets there, but this is. I don't have an opinion. I wish I had watched more of it, but I did not. So I can't comment.
That was the safe. I have a job and I can't have people see me on here picking a side.
No. Listen to me. If she's abusive to him, I will 100% say she's abusive to him. Like I don't have that.
We're just messing with you.
Yeah, no, we're pulling your leg.
We just messing with
you.
I'm giving you a genuine answer. So.
Well, I have been keeping up with it. It has been in the background while I'm working. It's just playing.
Tell us, what do you think?
I'm just listening. Well, I mean, the evidence points to she's an abuser. She claimed a lot of things. Okay, like she said, there's one instance where she said he beat her up on the bed. He was hitting her in the face, and her nose was bloody, and there was blood all over the pillow. Mm-hmm. Of that incident, she didn't take a picture of the bloody pillow or herself. She took a picture of the bed where there was a chip of wood off of the bed where she said his foot was on, and the foot broke the wood. So it's like, okay, he beat you up. You took the camera out, but just to take a picture of the wood.
Facts.
And not the bloody pillows that you said were there, and not a picture of your injuries. Like,
when did that happen? Weird. Obsession. When did she say that occurred?
I don't remember. I don't remember exactly when. I think it was somewhere in London. I think they were. I know they were overseas somewhere. So
I can't imagine anyone in this day and age. Everything is chronicled. You know, I mean, you have like, you know, you cut up an apple a certain way. People put it on Instagram.
Yeah,
put it on social media. Like that. They're constantly. You know, I know like there are young women having, you know, miscarriages and crying on like all types of like terrible we shouldn't be talking about that or whatever. I can't imagine she wouldn't take pictures of all the blood. I couldn't imagine anyone wouldn't.
Yeah, all the bruises that she, and you know, he always wears these big chunky rings, and even one story where she said that he was pounding her in the face.
She would have no face.
And over repeatedly, and I'm like, with those big gaudy rings, I mean, you would have some damage.
He must think he's still a pirate, which is okay with me because I'm.
Totally she has a crush on Christina. Has a crush on pirates. Right?
Yeah, so it's just kind of crazy.
She was a pirate.
The whole story is nuts.
The fun fact about Christina, she has a naked picture of Captain Crunch in her wallet.
No, I do not. No, but I do have one sexy pirate picture. I do.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. It's like, boy, Captain Crunch hurting more than the roof of your mouth.
But that case, it's almost like some S&M like foreplay abuse type thing going on.
How long is this trial going on?
It was for 6 weeks. It wrapped yesterday. Yesterday was closing arguments.
And to what end? Who's trying to prove what? Like, I don't even know.
He's trying to prove defamation, that she published an op-ed that came out in the Washington Post. Calling him a sexual abuser.
Yep.
Okay.
And domestic violence and sexual abuser. And she's saying that she didn't write it, but then during the trial, she started out saying, which is crazy. She says, this op-ed wasn't about Johnny. The only person that's making this about Johnny is Johnny. And then at the end of the trial, she says, that's why I wrote the op-ed because of people like him, powerful men like him. Like, you just like, whoa, wait a minute. Which one is it? You did or you didn't? But the breakout star of this case so far has been one of his lawyers, Camille Vasquez, I believe her name is.
Yeah. I heard she's awesome.
She was carving their ass up like a pumpkin. That woman was amazing. So, yeah.
Wow.
It was something to watch.
Got her going off of Groupon.
Yeah, she said off of Groupon. It's a lot, man. It is a lot. I mean, listen, you know, what I don't like. Well, there's a couple of things going on with this case. One, the media response. If you know, the mainstream media is very pro Amber, and when you think about it, like it's like, damaging testimony today, damning testimony against Johnny Depp. You know, and if you think about it, usually the way we receive our information about trials is you usually see like a sketch artist in the court, and they draw the pictures of the people on the stand or whatever, and then you'll have an anchor come in and they'll say just that, you know, like, really rough testimony, really bad day in court for Johnny Depp, you know. And that would just be the narrative. And, you know, we would all go on our day like, oh, my God, Johnny's getting his ass handed to him in court. Like, that's just how we would feel because they're programming us. Right. So you've taken away that filter. You've totally removed that whole apparatus. So we can see directly into the court and we see and we can judge for ourselves. And they're upset about that, you know. And then you have all these lawyers channels on YouTube. I was watching Nate the lawyer, Emily, what's her name? Emily D. I can't remember her last name, but she had like 1 million people on her stream watching the trial. Then you had Legal Bites and a couple of other YouTube channels where these are all lawyers. They call it LawTube, the lead attorney. Cool. And so you're watching it, so now you're watching the trial with attorneys. And they're breaking it down to you, stuff that you don't understand what the sidebars are about. The legalese, all that. Exactly. So you're getting a full understanding of it. So now when the news can't come back at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and tell you how to feel about it, they're upset. Exactly. Right. So they can't spin it. So they lost. Right. So now they're saying this trial should have never been broadcast live. And it's because people are clowning Amber Heard. But the fact of the matter is, it's deserved. I mean, you just look like a big liar. Like things aren't adding up. So people are seeing the inconsistencies and they're pointing them out. And they say, oh, this is dangerous and you should just believe her because. So if you Google search it right now, you will see this whole I stand with Amber Heard. And it's almost like, forget about whatever it is. Forget about her hitting him. Forget about her. You hear the audio play where he said, you punched me. And she was like, I didn't hit you. I didn't punch you. I just hit you. Stop being a baby. And he was like, don't tell me what it is to feel to be punched. You know, so his lawyer even flipped that. It was like, so just imagine if he would have said that to her.
Facts.
You know, and we would have listened to it that way. But yeah, it's real interesting watching. And I'm really checking out this media response because they're upset because they can't tell us how to feel. It's real interesting.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact.
Amber will burn in the pits of hell.
She said in the pits of hell.
And she deserves.
Well, I'll tell you this: TikTok has been lighting her on fire since it started. Like, oh my God! Like, there's just hours and hours and hours. Like anything she say on the stand, they're researching it and then posting. Like they're just debunking her in real time. Like that. This woman's career is if it's not finished, it's going to take a hit for a long time. No matter who wins this trial, she's in the toilet.
One thing
last thing I'll say, and I'll let you jump in there. Now they're blaming the judge. They're upset with the judge now. The feminists online are upset with the judge because they're saying the judge should have never allowed this to be broadcast. So now they're making the judge the fall person in this, which is crazy. But now, what do you want to say?
I was just going to say that one thing we've learned through this case is how horrible of an actor Amber Heard is, because her skills on the stand, her inconsistencies, it makes me wonder how she ever made it in Hollywood or even got a role for man. She's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so bad. I mean, forget it, the acting, yes, but hear what she said, that Warner Brothers fired her and then rehired her. They had the president of Warner Brothers on the stand. He says she was never fired. We picked up, you know, it was just whether we were going to pick up her option or not, which is standard. We did pick up her option for the next movie, and they asked, well, why was there any hesitancy on you picking up her option? And they said, because there was chemistry issues. You know, her and Jason Momoa weren't really connecting online. They said they had to do a lot of movie magic to make it seem like they had a connection in the first Aquaman. So they were trying to figure out if they were going to recast or not. So that was the delay. She was never fired or rehired or anything like that. And, you know, we didn't know if she was good enough. We were kind of thinking about recasting. So all of the stuff that she was saying, it just, all of it just kept getting shot down. Bomb, bomb, bomb. It's like, God damn.
She's a liar.
Damn. It's just, so if you're lying about that, what else are you lying about?
Exactly.
That's true. That is very true.
Very true. You know, even if he loses, because, you know, it's hard to prove defamation, and it's a whole lot going on with it. Like, especially listening to those lawyers break everything down. Even if he loses, he's won already. So
there you go.
Yeah, and I'll shut up about that now because I feel like I have been having diarrhea up the mouth.
No, you're fine. I mean, you know, we couldn't get. I mean, outside of our guest who is on the phone, and Christina, it's your turn, Christina, to step up to the altar and tell us one of your horror stories about dating a guy.
Oh, she's not sharing. Christina is not sharing.
Christina has a few of them that I listen to on occasion.
Christina is.
You don't have to say names. You know, listen, I wanted women to, you know, step up to the altar, man. You know, we giving y'all a platform to tell us where we've gone wrong.
Tell me off, goddammit. Yeah, tell me what I did wrong. Tell me off.
Right. Tell us where we men come short, man. You're a single, attractive woman living in middle America, Long Island.
I am not in middle America.
She's out on the island.
When I say middle America, meaning
Long
suburbia.
Island.
She's out on the island.
Meaning suburbia.
On the island.
Okay, you're on the island. You're on the island. I get it.
Long Island.
Right, you're on Long Island. But
yes.
You are a single, successful
We don't live
woman.
in Long Island. We live on Long
Island.
I'm sorry. Live on Long Island.
Right.
That's right. Pardon me, grammar police. So living on Long Island, you are a single woman that a lot of men probably, find you attractive and beautiful and succulent and all the other adjectives we can give you.
It depends on their preference. It depends on what they like.
I mean, that's obvious that it depends on their preference, right? But we're saying is you can step up to the doors of the church are open, man. Tell us some of your horror stories of dating us modern men.
Horror stories.
Or in pursuit of one. How about that? Does that make it easier for you?
What do you mean?
Maybe on a man, we in the hood. But maybe on a dating app, or you try to find a guy, something.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Whatever you're not embarrassed to say that you're willing to say.
Okay, let her get it out.
I'm not embarrassed really for anything, but maybe I'll discuss with you privately a certain
here we go.
That I do have, but I'm fine with saying it, but I think I'm gonna reserve for now.
I told you she wasn't sharing.
Yeah, she's not.
No. I will share other things.
All right, please.
So I think part of the falling short of men with women today, it's some, not all, we don't.
Okay, yeah, we don't have to.
I think it's partly the woman's fault also. And I'll tell you why. So I had a relationship, and not all things, right? But I had a relationship with someone for about 9 years.
Okay.
And we were together, and we were engaged, we were not engaged, we were going to live together, we were going to buy a house, we did, all this other stuff. So he really wasn't present a lot physically and in the relationship.
Okay.
So I had a best friend at the time, and she had went out, and she had he was a teacher, and she's a teacher in a different district.
Okay.
And she was out, and she met somebody that she hasn't seen for a long time, a parent of one of her students who worked in a different district. And she said, I don't know how it got, oh, you work in this district. Do you know so-and-so?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning my boyfriend.
Right. And
she said, oh my God, that piece of shit, this and that, he's got this girlfriend, in Nassau County, she's got a daughter in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's cheating on her left and right. He's such a piece of garbage. He's cheating on the woman that she's cheating on her with, and she's a moron if she thinks she's some social worker in Nassau County. And my best friend is like ready to vomit. She's like, and she didn't say my friend, she just mentioned his name.
Right.
So she then had to figure out how to, like, is she going to tell me?
Right.
So she did. She did tell me. So when I confronted him, I said, listen, so-and-so is out. She heard things about you.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was, oh, is this about that rumor that I got that teacher pregnant? I'm like, no, actually, it wasn't even about that. But thank you for that additional information. Thanks for sharing.
That man was doing the Lord's work. Go ahead.
I really didn't think he had it in him. And I'm like, I want you to go home. I want you to pack your shit. Don't take any TVs off the wall. Leave my dogs where they are and get out.
Dogs where they are.
My two dogs I have. So, but honestly, I stayed in that relationship way longer than I should have looking back, because we were living together and I didn't really think I could do it monetarily without him. So
I mean, that's survivalism once again, right? That's
I think I was, as she says that, I was actually, I sent a note to the rest of the cast for the show for my radio show that tomorrow I wanted to talk about knowing when to break up. Yeah, knowing when it's enough is enough.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to discuss that tomorrow on air.
And I actually have said, many times that, when we broke up, and I was in the house alone, if my daughter was out, I wanted Andre knows, I wanted a partner, I'm very relationship focused and all that, I felt like I wished someone was there with me, but I wasn't lonely. I was more lonely with him in the house than without him because there was so much not connecting.
Right. It was distorted. Y'all wasn't on the same wavelength. And obviously you were in the same proximity, but y'all didn't share anything together.
And as for, the dating, the dating websites, I don't love it when, 3 texts in, the guy says to me, so, do you do anal? Like, I don't,
Damn.
I'm not, 3 sentences in. I'm
Damn.
like, what? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know you. He goes, so what's off the table? I'm like, I don't even know what you're referring to. He's like, well, anal. I'm like, I don't even know you. What are you talking about?
But you know what? I don't know if Obsession will agree with this, but I told you this before. Men go to the well that works, right? They go to the well that yields the water. So usually some men, if they've had success just being upfront with women like that within 2 or 3 texts, especially if they feel like they're attractive and know that women find them attractive, they lay it on the table. You're always going to have the one woman like, what are you talking about? What?
But I think that works to their detriment more. I can't imagine more people going, yeah, I'll come over in an hour.
If it doesn't,
I don't know you.
I would say like this. If it didn't work to his advantage, then he's a moron for keep doing. That's insanity, right? When you try the same thing over and over again, expecting like, obviously for a lot of guys, it does work. It's for you at your generation, your age, and where you're at in your life. You're not within the first 3 sentences. You don't want to hear about something entering your rectum.
No. I think you're a victim of modern times, Christina.
She is.
And what do I mean by that? I mean the apps. It's literally swipe right and fuck.
That's what it is.
So and it's so accessible, and it's just so to the point.
And if you're not on there for that,
then they kind of moving on to
they're gonna move on to who's gonna satisfy the gratification.
Unfortunately, I think that's where we are. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we live in once again, we live in a society that the average working man gotta hear that he's not good enough, he's not this, he's not that, I'm not gonna cooperate, I'm not gonna do this.
Average working black
say it again.
Do that to other races.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm disclaiming about. So like we're not good enough. So it's like then it becomes a point where like, I have needs. So who's gonna yield that? You know what I'm saying? Because when I look at some of my peers, whether they're in the late 30s all the way down to the 20s, and I see some of the guys they fall for, I seen a chick fall for a dude on Instagram in his boy's Maserati. I don't even think it's his boy's Maserati. He had a Dior sweater and a bottle of Douce, and she gave him the drawers just for that. And then realized like he was broke. I'm like, Mom, why was he on Instagram? You thought he was
but she's not, that's your friend, but she's not a representation of us.
She's not, but I know my sample size is huge. It doesn't, she is in the middle of the bell curve. She's not at the edges. But the point I'm making is, you're in the swipe and have sex mode. That's what it is. It's a meat market. It's literally like, I'm at the store going, okay, I need peas, I need chicken, all right, boom.
And it's just easier. Like, if I know Shorty just want a pair of sneakers, as opposed to you who want to plan trips and hang out, and I have an implied date every Saturday,
Facts.
I might just buy her them sneakers.
Yo.
A pair of sneakers
Just might buy her them sneakers. And beat and go about my business opposed to, damn, every Saturday you just imply like, so I figured we go here Saturday. I'm like, damn, did you ask me? Like, you didn't even ask if I was. It's just an implied date now.
Well, that depends on what you're looking for. Like, some men would be looking for something a little more.
I agree.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing with that.
I agree, but okay. I'm just saying, for me, at my age, at this point, like, I'm really not.
I'm sick and tired of the games.
I'm not really here for all the games.
Right? How much them Jordans are?
For real, like that shit. That $180 will buy me peace. I'm like, here, take these
a pair of sneakers for a piece of trim.
Get your ass out of here. Like, it will buy me peace. You know, it's just like, come on. I mean, when I talk to women, most of the time, what I hear is what they're not going to do. I don't hear about what they are going to do. They just telling me what they're not going to do.
Like what?
I'm not getting dressed up cute. I'm not doing my hair. I'm wearing this wig. I'm going to wear this bonnet and this scarf when I feel like it. I am not cooking. You can forget about all of that shit. I'm going to go out with my friends to brunch when I feel like it. You're not going to be calling me and asking me where I am. Like that. You get all of that shit in a nutshell. And I'm like, I'm cool.
Facts.
I'm all the way cool.
Facts.
On you.
Facts.
So yeah, I mean, that's all you hear. Well, I'm not. Don't expect me to. I don't do this. I don't do. I'm not your mother.
So that's like the guy like.
We have a question. Sorry to cut you off, Christine. We have a question.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Christina. Go on.
No. So I was just gonna say. So it's like that guy coming like right out of the gate. Like, so do you do anal? It's like they're like, listen, I'm not cooking for you. I'm not. Is it the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. And then
what is that?
And then the next part is all right. If you go out on 2 dates, you went out twice.
Okay.
By the third date, I constantly hear. So what are we doing? What is this?
Isn't that the question? Oh my God! What is
this? Like this? What is? I just need to know.
So
what is this? Like,
what are we?
Cause like I just need, you gotta make it. I'm saying like I ain't got time. I hate wasting my time.
I can listen Obsession do that all day. That
Yo, he knows it. He knows it.
So that is the funniest shit. But anyway, what is I don't know this young lady's name, this 25 almost 26 years old, because I came in late. What's her name?
My name is Chanel.
So do you know women that will say those things, that will set that boundary, that will go on like that, or will say what is this, or I'm not cooking, or I'm wearing the scarf, or whatever it is. Like, do you find that?
Well, that's what I wanted to actually get into a little bit. Some women have done those things, and it's gotten them nowhere. So I think that's why some are apprehensive about doing those kind of things. And I want to ask the men, like, what do you expect from a woman? You expect wifely duties as a girlfriend? Is that what helps you determine if you want to make her a wife? Or like, because that's confusing to women. I feel like, well, for me, like that's very confusing. Even though I do those things, if I really care about someone, like I don't mind. Like I cook for friends, so it's really nothing. But
exactly,
what's the motivation? If they're doing that and you get comfortable, you're not motivated to advance in a relationship at all. So what's the incentive?
I'm gonna let you answer that, Obsession.
Okay,
that's interesting. I like that question.
Well,
I bet you do.
Let me put it to you like this. For me, I have expectations, and I know you have expectations. Okay, you want me to be a certain way, and there's certain things that you need in a relationship for you to feel comfortable, right? There's just certain things that you're gonna need from this guy. It just is, and if he can't rise to that level, you're not feeling him. It's the same way for us, right? I don't, I just need a few things from you, and this is what I'm looking for. Like, I got A, B, C, and D. I want the rest from you. Can you give me E and F? And can you do that? Like, that's all I'm asking for. And when
I
you,
don't think the problem is,
excuse me,
the problem is, I don't think the problem is if you can get it. The problem is when you get it and get comfortable, then what?
Well, you can't really worry about that. I don't know. Seriously, you can't really worry about whether if I'm going to get comfortable and change and switch up. Like you can't go into it with that mindset. Like I mean, that comes with the vetting process in the beginning. Like I mean, when you vet the person that you getting into is with, you'll kind of figure that out whether this is going to be somebody who's going to switch up on you or not. You can't always tell,
right?
But that's where you have to kind of rely on your sixth sense. You got that little inner voice in your head telling you like maybe this is not the person because I see certain tendencies or I see some red flags.
Yeah,
you got to kind of rely on yourself
and
say, well, this isn't that type of person.
So basically, women should continue to submit and do wifely things, even though they'll be uncertain if they'll end up being a wife anyway.
There are no guarantees. There's no guarantee that you would be with me tomorrow. There's no guarantee. You might walk out of a building and meet some guy who sweeps you off your feet, or you wake up and just feel like I'm not your cup of tea. There are no guarantees. There's no guarantees.
Women should go ahead and do it regardless without knowing if they'll ever be
just like I'm supposed to go ahead and flip the bill and pay for dinner and protect and provide and do everything else that you would. No,
answer me, but you're not. Like
I am answering. What I'm saying is yes, you're supposed to do that because it's expected of one another. We expect the same things. You expect something, I expect something. Okay, it just is what it is. You can't really get around it. Like you're not guaranteed, a job. You're not guaranteed an apartment. You're not guaranteed anything. You have to actually put yourself in position.
Right, you're not guaranteed for the job, but you go for the interview.
Exactly. Like so, what are you saying?
Right.
Just like you're not guaranteed vagina when you go on a date.
Exactly.
Listen,
that's right.
And that's why.
Cool with that.
Right. There you go.
I'm cool with that. Like that's your stuff. If you want to share,
if you want,
that's fine with me. You can share, but if you don't want to share, I'm not gonna wrestle you down for it.
Exactly.
No, we don't condone that. No,
of course not. I'm gonna go about my business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's to me one of the true signs of an alpha male is understanding that. Like, you cannot control the distribution of vagina. That's it. Like, she's gonna give it or she's not, right?
And even when you're in a relationship, like fellas, listen, let me tell you this. For the fellas listening on the replay or whoever online right now, let me tell you this, fellas.
Yeah. What?
All of the cock blocking that you do, all of the blocking and tackling that you do means nothing. Because if she want to fuck him, she's gonna fuck him.
You cannot control.
There's nothing you can do about it, brother.
Distribution of
what? All right.
Nothing you can do.
What are you talking about? All this blocking, like how?
Meaning, go ahead.
Who that on the phone? Where you going? What time you gonna get there? Call me when you get there. Hold on, I'm coming to pick you up. Oh nah, you ain't going with them. Oh nah, Tracy a hoe. You can't go with Tracy. No. All of that shit you doing, fellas, it don't mean nothing. If she want to get that nigga some pussy,
it's gonna happen.
He is gonna get that pussy.
It's gonna happen.
Do a lot of men do that?
Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do.
Of course.
I
told you I was once.
I've never dated anybody like that.
Of course, I don't. Well,
they do.
That doesn't mean I dated great people. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get it. We get what you're saying, but
they absolutely do that.
Listen,
but I mean, if she's gonna screw, she want to screw, fellas. That's the bottom line.
That's just the bottom line, man.
There's no guarantees, brother. If she faithful, cool,
Right.
But shit, even it don't matter if she's your girlfriend, your wife.
Yeah.
She could be a nun. If she want to fuck the priest, she gonna fuck him. It's her pussy. Don't ever forget that.
You do not control the distribution of vagina.
You do not. So just get that out your system. And listen, man, there's beautiful people all over the world. Your woman will walk out and see a guy that's more handsome than you, just like you will walk out and see a woman that's more pretty than she is. Like it's impossible for it not to happen. Okay, it's what you do.
Yeah,
what you do means everything.
That's right.
I mean, sometimes you out shoveling. 2 winters ago, I was shoveling. I slipped, tripped, fell in vagina by myself. It was just there. I was like, oh. So it happens. But yeah,
it was just there. Oh my god!
But,
yes, I've googled that whole. I've googled that phenomenon.
What the hell?
it's that last snowstorm we had. 3 people actually slipped and fell into some vagina.
Yeah,
It was
listen,
damn.
it happens.
Right.
Only 3 people? I'm surprised it wasn't more.
Listen,
well,
look,
it
hey,
wasn't that
Christina.
much snow.
It must have been 3 people
Hey,
only in Long Island. That was in Long Island.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And Christina, look, you got people like me who mind his business, you know, doing the Lord's work, shoveling and slip,
That's
trip,
right.
and fell in something. And then you got guys that drive from Connecticut to Long Island with a quarter tank of gas in his car and a flat tire.
There's some personal shit we
You know,
hearing right here.
to
boy.
go see a beautiful woman.
He was very
you know,
sweet.
Yes, he was.
I just
Someone to care.
I just didn't feel it.
Someone to share.
He was,
go ahead.
I don't have a bad word to say about him. I don't. He was very sweet.
I know. And you know, I always tell women there's so many sweet homeless guys that they walk across every day.
Man, we running long.
But you know, it's fine. We get it, you know.
This was a great conversation.
This was a great conversation. Chanel did her thing. She gave Obsession a run for his money. Lord,
why should we? Yeah, why are we?
Hold on,
we're not guaranteed.
We ain't
Why
talking
should
about
we?
black man, because black man, I was like, woo, Lord.
Chanel is young, but she's
feisty.
But she can really break things down. She has a very mature way of looking at things.
She does, man. She
very
does.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Let's give Chanel
Very impressive.
Give her a round of applause, man.
Very
she
impressive.
Does. Yeah,
yep, absolutely.
She could be one of the teachers at the Andre School of Financial Literacy and Polygamy Science.
Oh,
because she's definitely talking that talk, you know.
Thank you.
Maybe you could, since you say you like to cook, maybe you could be the culinary arts teacher for my wives.
Oh, Lord, don't do that.
I don't think you should be thanking him for what he's talking about. Trust me.
Listen, thank me. I'm doing the Lord's work. Thank me.
You should not be thanking him.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
He said the School of Polygamy.
No, the Andre School of Financial Literacy and Polygamy
and
Science.
polygamy.
Where our slogan is, we're more than just vagina.
Oh my God.
All right.
But
well, thank you guys for having me.
Man, thank you for because you know Obsession's the star of the show. So you put him on his heels.
You gonna stop saying that shit.
I can't wait to hear women say, "I'm glad y'all finally got somebody up there to shut Obsession up." I can't wait. They gonna be texting me.
I just want to know what Obsession's name is. No one really.
That's Black Jesus for you, ma'am. Not just
okay.
So we got the beige and the black. That's what we got.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am beige Jesus.
I will tell you off air. I can't have these heifers. I can't have these heifers Googling me.
Okay.
As you know,
I don't want nobody showing up at my door with an angry attitude face, you know.
Right.
Or flowers in vagina. You never know.
No, that is cookies. You know the song.
Oh, cookies in vagina.
There you go.
Listen,
say it again.
Listen. Cookies in vagina is always nice, but
there you go.
Let me say it now. Let me say it publicly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool. I'm
not.
I'm cool.
I ain't cool. Listen, cool. Like I say, you know, I'm gonna hit this note for Chanel. Just tell me how this song. Just tell me how this melody sounds, Chanel, because I'm gonna finish writing the song.
Oh Lord,
you ready? You ready, Chanel?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I don't care. You can diss it if it's whack.
No.
It's gonna be a hit regardless. Obsession heard it, right?
Right.
So it's basically I got 2 versions. I'm gonna give you the slow version. You ready? So it's you looking kind of good. I was hoping you would kinda invite me over for some cookies and vagina. How does that sound for a hook?
It sounds like TikTok gonna have a field day with that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it.
You want to go viral on TikTok, okay?
And then the upbeat is like a little bit. It's a little more like a bounce. So it's looking good, and I was hoping you would kinda invite me over for some cookies and vagina, if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? It would be like that type of joint. But I like the slow one. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
On that note. You ladies are divided, misguided, undecided. I'm glad y'all came to join this show for some inspiration and some information.
It's good to be
here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And on that note, you know, as my dad once said, stay black and date white. And now just
I was just about to say, like, this show about to end. Don't do that.
I'll just play it.
Don't do that. Y'all have to extend this for another 15. Don't do that.
She said we about to stay.
Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, I just gave Umar a heart attack. But yo, man, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, he'd be in here calling people snow bunnies. All right, Christina, see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Chanel. Appreciate the hell out of you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Lock the what's it called?